We've got a couple trees here. Ken Patterson, Natalie Patterson, gonna explain what we see here.
This tree, from the way it's been done, it was, I started pushing it over and it snapped on them. But there's one over here. Yeah. Pretty clear cut. That's there right there. It's been broken and twisted all in one shot. And some people may think that, hey, it's a little big, but we got reports of eyewitness accounts of trees as big as this pine tree right here, them walking up to it, grabbing it and shaking it back and forth like this. Now their body's not moving, but they're uprooting the tree. And just give you a little idea about how strong these things are. And hopefully you didn't step in that footprint. Got a print right here. A few of them through here.
Yeah, there are. There's some more tree breaks and some interesting, what do we call, bark peeling over here. I'll be right back to show you.
Seated right here.
Alright, you are on camera.
Alright, folks. We've posted before and somebody said that this was due to lightning strikes. Well, I got a different scenario for you now. If you look right here at the ground, you got a piece of bark that's been freshly peeled off and a fishing bobber. Now the deal was, last time we were here, which was about 3 weeks ago, this was pushed in back here and it's been peeled off because we hadn't had any lightning storms up here.
No, and there's another area over here that is on this over 100-year-old tree that the bark has been peeled from
and
the bottom.
Been peeled here because here's 1, 2 more.
Now we found these bobbers
bobbers
walking back here, so we thought we'd put them in this tree that's been debarked, which is, we're still trying to figure out.
Weird. Really, really weird.
We'll see if we can place them somewhere else along our path and come back and check on them. I'm gonna just take a glance at our surroundings because sometimes when we pull the footage in closer, you'll see these Sasquatches in amongst the brush hiding is what we've come to find. There's that big old 100-year-plus tree, old oak. And there's some construction work going on. I just thought I'd show this. This is something we came across. Kind of looks like an arrow. And it's going up into the woods here. It's quite interesting. And then there's a bent tree, which I'll highlight a little here.
There's no way.
Go ahead, honey.
There's no way that this is natural. Because this stick is laying on top of this one, like so. This was put here.
This is put here. Intelligent Sasquatch. And so they're pointing, which goes up the side of this small mountain.
Now, if you look down the hill here, you'll see we got a bulldozer and a big 10-ton truck. What they're doing is they're cleaning up from an incident that happened many years ago. And you say, well, maybe a person did that. Well, I can tell you right now, since they've been moving in a little closer, the trail signs that we've been seeing, the broke trees and stuff, are becoming more and more numerous because they're marking their path and their territory. Now, when we came out here right after they burned, they went through and knocked fresh trees down all over the trails again after they came through and cleaned it out. So we think we got a few of them up here staking claim to some property.
Most likely some good family units. We're gonna keep going down the trail and see what we see. Okay, now I know this is just a burnt out tree here that we see, and it broke there. You see that? But it's fallen over the path. Now, yes, you could say it just fell there, but
Where's the rest of it?
Where's the rest of the tree? Yeah, I'm more apt to think this particular one was done by Sasquatch because it's a road and they don't want you going back in their prime spot.
If some of you seen the video done by myself and Jonathan Odom, when we did our little night investigation and I kept telling him he was on the wrong side of the fence, we're now standing on the wrong side of the fence. That's the exit back that way. They do this, they'll start out with small tree limbs and branches and they'll move to logs, and if you generally if you travel far enough back and you catch them at the right time in the right place, that's when they'll tell you to leave. Sort of like what happened to Jonathan that night. Alright, we're down here by a nice little creek and we found this right here. So this has been laying right through here, and there's one that's been laid over right here, and this whole limb's been bent. Now some people might say, well, it just fell that way. I beg to differ, because I got what the remnants of a print right here. So this has been done a while back, obviously. If you'll look, it's been broken right here. It's been basically been snapped off, taken and pulled this direction right here. Boom. So it wouldn't have fell right there if it's going this direction, if the brake's this way. If the brake was turned around, then they could say, yeah, it fell in there. But instead, this was ripped off and placed right here.
And there's the end that was ripped.
It's we don't truly understand exactly what it's all about. We're still learning that. If it's a territorial marker, boundary, if you will, a little message to us hairless apes, if you will, to stay back. But we're hoping we'll figure that out one of these days. But this just another little interesting little tidbit right here, that this was actually placed here, and I don't really see a person placing it here.
I want to point out too, this actually comes to an X. They've bent this tree right here down, and then they've put that tree, here I go, I'm zooming in. They might have pulled it from there, but they placed it there, and it goes, let me zoom out again, right here, which comes together and makes an X. Again, not knowing exactly why they do this or what it means. Ken?
Well, sorry, I was listening because Natalie pointed out earlier she thought she heard a footstep, and right back off in there something took a step. It's 2:17 in the afternoon, so chances are the main bulk of the group is still having their little siesta. But if we got the attention of a sentry, as we call it, or a lookout, if you will, then it may have followed us down a little bit. But this is definitely interesting. And one of the cool parts about where we're at right now, outside of the men back off over the hill over there doing a cleanup, the only people who's been back here is the forest rangers who did the precautionary burn to prevent wildfires. Otherwise, nobody's been back here since probably the 1940s, because it's been closed off.
Yeah, maybe a few fishermen, since we've seen some fishing bobs, but...
No.
Okay, no then.
No.
Well, we decided to head down a path we found. And I just thought I'd let you see what we're walking through.
This is a whole other. Turn it off.
Go.
Alright. My wife's on a roll today. 2 thumbs up for her. She keeps finding really cool stuff. This limb right here, it's partially burnt. It didn't come from this tree or this tree right here where it would have fell. It's been stuck in the ground. They got it from somewhere and brought it, and it's about 5.5, almost 6 inches into the ground right here. You can see the hole where it came from, and I'll put it back for them and be nice about it. But I assure you folks, no person's going to drive this into the ground. I know the ground's a little soft, but only for about 1/2 inch. And if you notice, it's leaning and pointing this direction because there's a creek right over here. Maybe it's pointing towards water. We're not 100% sure about that, but it wouldn't be the first time they've used a directional. And another small insignificant part here is what we have right here is the outline of a very old print. Now, part of my background through Boy Scouts and Order of the Era and stuff like that is tracking. I can tell you right now, this is a very old print. So one of them come through here and stuck this in the ground for some reason, and hopefully we'll keep continuing and figure out what that is. Natalie, why don't you give them a quick pan around, kind of give them an idea where we're standing right now.
All right. Now they've done some burning, but it's been weeks. And that branch had to be picked up elsewhere, as you can see. And we're back to Ken.
Alright, let's go see what else we can find. Right. Okay, now something to kind of gives an idea of where we're at and why I say nobody's been back here. All I'll say is this used to be part of the military reservation, and what we have here is called an impact crater. And if you look right over here, there's another impact crater. And there's also one back behind where Natalie's filming right now. That's why I can say nobody's been back here, is because it's been closed off to the general public since about 1940.